everybody. Some of you are here for the very first time, and some of you haven't been here in a while, and others see you about every weekend. So it's great to have you here, and we're here to celebrate these young men, all these graduates who have taken on this challenge that's West Point, and gotten to the end of this journey, and now they're headed for bigger and better things, which we're really excited about. The graduation is fantastic. It never gets old seeing them toss those hats in the air. What a great sight, and the celebration that goes on along with that. But to me, this is the biggest part of the day, is the commission. That these young men earn their opportunities, young men and women, their classmates, earn this opportunity to be second lieutenants in the Army. And just incredible to see them grow from where they were when they were freshmen, and now as graduating seniors and professionals in the profession of arms. And so we're here to celebrate this commissioning ceremony with each of these guys. They're free to do the commissioning wherever they want, and I'm really proud of the guys that are here that want to do this together in this building and kind of celebrate this moment together. Ken Kraetzer, who many of you recognize from CaMMVetsMedia, is here. He's taking video. He's doing some of this live, but he'd like to get each of these commissionings on film and be able to share those. And to make that easiest, I'm encouraging everybody to go in the weight room. That way we can watch each other and celebrate with each other. You're welcome to do it in here or take it outside. But Ken's going to move his operation to the weight room and be able to film those that do that in there, and families and friends, and we'll just gather around and we'll try to just celebrate each one as we go through and not have 6 different going at the same time, so we can all be a part of this together. And just enjoy the weekend. Enjoy celebrating with these young men, and for you guys that are graduating players that have been here with us. I'm so proud of you guys, and just excited for the next chapter of your lives and the next opportunity you have. You came here, some of you came here fully knowing what this was going to be, and some of you came here with your fingers crossed saying, well, I hope I like it, and not knowing at all what it was going to be. But every one of you that's here, you're now excited about this new opportunity and to be second lieutenants and take command and serve as leaders, which you are. So proud of you guys. Glad to have everybody here. I love you guys, and man, let's celebrate this thing together. So I am going to introduce Colonel John Baskerville, who's our head officer representative. He's going to give you a brief little how this is going to go. And then we'll make our way to the commissioning so we can head upstairs and have a little lunch, and you guys can go celebrate. Sir, thanks for having me. Thanks for being here.
Coach Munkin, thank you. And welcome to everybody today. As Coach laid out, we've done the graduation ceremony, but now we're moving into the commissioning, which is really as we think about this ceremony, it's the time where we have something a little more personalized. You're working with a mentor, someone that's worked with you throughout your time here, someone that means something to you, and they're helping you make that transition in that time from an officer candidate, from a cadet, into the profession of arms. So what you'll see in the commissioning ceremonies are a couple of things. One, you'll see the oath of office. And if you were listening to the vice president today, when she talked about the oath, what we're talking about there is an oath, a promise, as you're entering to be an agent of the executive branch. And the important thing is it's an oath to a set of ideals, a set of principles to support and defend the Constitution. And that's important because that's different than some other places. And those are some things that are incredibly important to us and something that we cannot take for granted. So that idea of supporting and defending the Constitution is what the oath is about. And you talk about what you're going to do in the oath, and then you promise and talk about how you're going to do it. The second thing you see is the pinning of the bars. And so we say butter bars for the gold bars that come on the second lieutenants. And that really is the Army entrusting in you through those bars, that's a symbol, that's what shows that the Army has entrusted in you to lead and to go out there and do the things we need you to do, to be leaders of character and go out there and lead our sons and daughters. And it's also a symbol of your commitment that you've done what you need to do pre-commissioning, you've taken the oath, and now you're ready to go out there and do it. All right, so I know that you've heard a number of times this week that you were absolutely ready to go out there and do it. I'm talking to the new graduates here, right? That you're ready, and you are ready. And today when you graduated, West Point, the senior leadership at West Point told the Chief of Staff, the Secretary of the Army, the Vice President, and the American people that you were ready, and gave you a diploma that said so across, and that represents your success across all 4 pillars here at West Point. But today, for you that have chosen to do this ceremony here in this building and here with this team, you should also think about that you're ready because of the things that you've done that emanated and started right here with this team, a lot of times with meetings or discussions in this building and the things that you've done in and around this complex, practice field, and the stadium. Individually, that's dedication, commitment to excellence, perseverance, courage, attention to details, all things that are going to make you much better leaders in the force and make you ready to go out there and lead. And then just as importantly, all of the dedication and excellence as an individual is important, but from here on out, what matters is that you can make that manifest into successful teams, right? So the things that you've done here, not only for your personal excellence, but to build the team, to hold one another accountable, to look out for one another, to take care of one another, those are things that are incredibly valuable out there in the force. So you're ready from all of the experiences here that you've had at West Point, but please also think of the things that you've done right here that you'll draw upon and will make you a much better leader out in the force. So it's an honor to be here with you today. You'll be in your areas where you go ahead and do this ceremony, but I just want to tell you one more time, it's an honor to be affiliated with the team. You guys will be great leaders out there in the force. Relish today, reflect on what it means, and congratulations again, and have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, so as you want to, with whatever family members and whatever flags or anything you have, we're just going to do this however you guys want to do it. It's your day and your ceremony. So the refreshments are for you guys to take and enjoy, as well as the drinks outside. You're welcome to stay in here. As I said, go into the weight room. I know Ken's going to move in there to that area. So at this point, we'll transition to wherever we're going to go for the commissioning. Glad to have everybody here. We're all done. We can go upstairs and have something to eat. Okay? All right, here we go.
And we're going to make a quick move over to, as Coach Munkett said, the weight room. So we're just going to keep this on. We've got a good connection at the moment. So take a little tour through our football field.
Everybody doing today? Hey y'all, my name is Major Dave Forrester. It's my absolute honor and privilege to commission Pat today. Just a couple things about Pat. So I've worked with him since CFT 3 years ago, out at the Team Live Fire. And he's one of the original guys that came up and was like, hey sir, you need to be a football OR. And I'm like, what's an OR, right? Like, don't worry, you need to do it. And so here we are, 3 years, working with the team, working with Pat and all these other young men that are commissioning today. So we had a conversation last summer at CLDT, CTLT, whatever it is, they're all the same numbers, same letters. We were talking about what they're gonna branch, right? And what I told the gentleman is him and Justin Lesko at the same time. He's like, look, I think you need to be an infantry officer. It's like, well, we're in the football team, so football alumni, field artillery, there's that old joke. But at the end of the day, everything in the Army is made to support the infantryman, right? And the infantry officer. And so what you're gonna be in charge of, Pat, are 30 hard-charging men and women that what they wanna do is they wanna close with and destroy the enemy on the battlefield, right? And that's powerful, because some people join the Army to be a truck driver, some people join the Army to build bridges or blow up bridges, right, sir?
That's right.
And some people grow up, that's just what they want to do. And then there are the select few that what they want to do is they want to meet the enemies of their country on the battlefield, right? And so that's what Pat's doing. For those of you that don't know what an infantry officer is, I'd urge you to Google it, check it out. It's the first branch, which is fitting that we're going first. The other thing I'd like to add before we get into the ceremony here is just a reminder whenever we look at the gold bar, so something that was told to me many, many years ago, about 20 years ago now, about the Army ranks. So if you see a rank that's gold, and you see the ranks that are silver, right? So Pat's bars today and all the second lieutenants, they're all gold bars. So gold is a very precious metal, right? But gold is also what? Extremely malleable, right? You can take gold and you can make it into anything, right? But it's also can get really brittle, right? Because you got to take care of gold, right? A goldsmith has to put a lot of work and effort into molding that gold into what they want to be. So whenever you see gold ranks like a second lieutenant or a major bars or a major leaf, we're talking about somebody who's moving into the next step and needs to be kind of molded. So the good thing about Pat is he's got guys like myself, all of his other mentors here at West Point that can reach back, all of you that are here for him today, so thank you for that, to be able to make him into what the Army needs, what his future family needs, and what his current family needs. So without further ado, we're gonna do the oath, and after that, I'm gonna open it up and Pat's gonna do his comments, okay? All right. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Patrick Henry Stepniak,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, both foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, both foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
execute the duties
execute the duties
of the office in which I'm about to enter.
in the office which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah! Baby.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I just want to say thank you to the family for getting me here. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, thank you. Also, too, about my flag. This is my great-grandfather's flag. He recently passed away. He was in World War II in the Army Air Corps. So he passed away about 2 years ago. So this is his flag and his casket. So in a sense, he was here too. So it's pretty awesome for me. Just thank you again for all the support through all the time, and just thank you all for being here. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
All right. I think we're gonna do mine against the window.
Is it okay to do it?
Yep. All right, hey everybody, welcome to West Point. If you haven't been here, welcome. If you have, again, it's a great place to be. I'm Major Jamal Olatunde. I am the OR, so we already talked about what an OR is. I'm the OR for the special team guys. So I met Ryan in 2020, which was a weird year. So I didn't really get to know Ryan in that first year because one, their schedules are busier than probably anybody on campus, and it was COVID. So I didn't get the best chance to meet them. But once we started opening up, I got to know Ryan and the rest of the guys really well. It was a great group of guys. So we as ORs, we take on this role, out of the kindness of our hearts, and I would always do it every time. Ryan and the guys have been great. They are very curious, and that's what I'm going to kind of harp on is Ryan is a very curious guy. He wants to learn more, which is important as he becomes a second lieutenant in the Army. The more you continue to learn, the better. The more you learn about others, the more you learn about your soldiers, the better officer and leader that you become. And so Ryan, among the many guys here, are continuous learners, and I know he's going to continue to do that once he gets out into the Army. We talked about an infantry officer. I'm an engineer officer. I like to say engineers can do everything an infantry officer can, but more. And Ryan, he's obviously wearing the engineer castles, and he's going to do that and much more. He's going to be in charge of engineer officers or engineer soldiers, which will look up to him for his curiosity. And that's what Ryan has, and he's done a great job, getting to this point. Because it's not easy to get to this point. I know it, he knows it, the guys behind him know it, but he made it. And he's going to continue to do great things. This is just a start. West Point, it's a tough path. It's a tough path, but Ryan's going to continue to do great things moving forward. So, like we saw earlier, we're going to go ahead and do the oath, and then I'll open it up to Ryan for his comments. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ryan Roman Aguilar,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
that I will take this obligation freely
that I will take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Say hey, y'all, yeah. Yeah. Again, thank you guys for coming. Obviously, you guys, so many people in here have been huge supporters for the past 4 years and even before that. Want to shout out Maddie and tell her I'm proud of her. I'm thankful when I met her here. Me and Maddie are going to get married on July 3rd. I'm really excited for that this summer. Being AI first, I'll be around and coach for the team. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Really helped me through this a lot. There's a lot of ups and downs here. A little bit about my flag. It was flown over the Capitol by the Speaker of the House now, who appointed me. So it has significance to me. It's my Aunt Candy holding it, and my sister Gabby, and then my Uncle Robinson crowd as well. So, thank you guys for coming, and have a good day. Cool. right, y'all.
Commissioning ceremony as soon as his grandfather.
Army football quarterback Jamel Jones came off the bench to make so many big plays in the last 3 years of Army football. Just waiting for one of his family to
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Major Zach Peterson. I'm the admissions support officer on the football staff. And Jamel has given me the honor to do his commissioning ceremony, so I'm really excited about the privilege to be able to do that. In attendance today with Jamel, he's got his father, Jamel Sr., his mother, Tanya, sister, Tamia, grandfather, Warren, and family friend, Bianca. So appreciate all y'all coming out to support Jamel on this special day. Jamel, as most of us know, is from the Colony, Texas. He's an engineering management major. He actually made the dean's list during his final semester.
Yeah.
Here at
There you
West
go.
Point. He closed out on a great note. After Jamel gets done with the significance of today, he is branched armor, which is one of our combat arms branches. He'll go do Fort Benning at the Maneuver Center of Excellence to do his initial basic officer leader course, and then he has a follow-on assignment to Fort Bliss, Texas, which is one of, probably is the most elite armored division in the Army. It was actually the jersey we wore at this year's Army-Navy game was 1AD, so pretty cool tie in there. Really, my favorite thing about Jamel is just how humble he is and how much of a team player he is. I actually met him in 2021 on a recruiting event. I just happened to be in the area, and I had never known Jamel. I introduced myself to him, and from there we struck a really good relationship. And I was just blown away at how mature and how well-spoken he was for someone of his age. It really is impressive. He embraced his role on the football team throughout the season. We had several key quarterbacks that contributed for us, and Jamel embraced his role, whatever that was, with humility and dedication. And it was just extremely impressive to observe that from him throughout the year. Recently, there was an article that Go Army Sports did on Jamel, where they asked him to talk about what he would say to his younger self. And I thought it was really fitting what he said. He said, be grateful, live in the moment, take your life one day at a time, and fall in love with the daily grind. And he's done that. He will continue to do that. This young man is going to be someone that his platoon will follow without being told to. He just possesses that kind of spirit and attitude. So he's going to be a great leader. With that, we're going to go ahead and publish the promotion orders. I'll read those. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has imposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional abilities of Jamel Jones. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of Second Lieutenant, effective 26 May 2023, by order of the Secretary of the Army, signed Christine E. Wormuth. Give a round of applause. This time we're going to do the commissioning oath. I state your name.
I, Jamel Anthony Jones Jr.,
Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States,
having been appointed an officer in the United States
in the grade of Second Lieutenant,
and the grade of Second Lieutenant,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter, so help me God. I'm my boy Ryan Bryce, in the same company here, I've known him for a long time, so he's gonna be here to do my first.
There you go.
So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to my family here. They mean the world to me. It was great to see my grandpa be able to come up here from New Orleans to come up and enjoy my commissioning ceremony. Next, I want to thank all of my brothers here from Army football. I wanted to go out the same way we came in, and that was together. So I'm glad that I'm here with you guys and be able to commission with all of you. And lastly, I just want to thank my coaches in the back, Coach Moken and Coach Worley specifically. Coach Worley, we've built a great relationship over the past 3 years since you've been here, since my sophomore year. And I appreciate all of the lessons that you taught me and everything. Really, the appreciate the daily grind came from that quote that you talked about from Brent Venables that one day in the meeting room. And that really stuck to me, and that's just what I live by every day. So I really appreciate you, and I love you. And I'm just glad to be here with my sister, being able to hold the flag as well as Bonnie, part of the brotherhood. And I thank each and every one of you, and I'm excited for the future ahead.
A member of the Short Green Line, which is the prep school, class of 2019, like myself. Cole majored in management. He has an engineering track of infrastructure. He was a 3-year letterman on our football team, primarily playing wide receiver and special teams. Served as a team leader, squad leader, platoon leader, battalion S6, and academics officer throughout his years at West Point. Started in D4, scrambled to H2, and those are the companies he's in. Cole, like myself, is going to be commissioning as a field artillery officer. He'll be a member of the most elite branch, the King of Battle, with all due respect to the other ones. He is going to be serving as an athletic intern at USMAPS, which is a sign of how he's going to contribute to the program and continue to help Army football in that capacity. Once he's complete with that, he will go to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for the Field Artillery Basic Officer Leader Course, and then he has posted Fort Cavazos, where he'll join 3rd Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division, in hopes of becoming a fire support officer, which is one of those key positions that you start with as you get into your key development jobs as a lieutenant. One of my favorite things about Bone is just his desire to learn his craft, and his motivation to continue to be better. As once he found out he was branching artillery, he was an individual that sought me out on multiple occasions to try and learn about the branch as he prepared to join it eventually as he is today. The other thing that I really like about Cole is meeting him and Cole Mabry in golf. We've handled them a few times. We'll go ahead and do that. All right, attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional abilities of Cole Kraetzer. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of 2nd Lieutenant, effective 26 May 2023, by order of the Secretary of the Army, signed Christine D. Warman.
This is my fault, I should have told him. I left him out the drive.
I state your name.
I, Cole Catterton,
Having been appointed an officer of the United States.
have been appointed an officer of the United States. Having been appointed an officer of the United States,
Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States.
have been appointed an officer in the United States. In the Army of the United States.
The greatest second
And
lieutenant.
the greatest second lieutenant,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
That I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duty of the office
on which I am about to enter.
which I am about to enter,
So help me God.
so help me God. I just want to thank everyone for being here in attendance today, especially my parents. I couldn't be here without them. They sacrificed a lot over the years, and just their support, coming up to all the football games, and just all the events throughout West Point. And that just means the world to me, and, you know, I'm the person I am today because of them. They molded me into that, so love you guys. Thank you. To my brothers, Casey, Katie back here, my sister Carly, my girlfriend Juliana. We've been together throughout this whole 5 years, so very special lady in my life. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you. To Major Peterson, you know, I pick your brain. You know, you've been a great mentor to me, and I'm excited to learn as much as I can about, you know, the Army and field artillery, and, you know, I appreciate you letting me into your life. Thank you for that. To my coaches back there, all of them, especially Coach Smith, Coach Monkey, and Coach Satt, you know, you guys taught me how to be a good football player, but more importantly, you taught me how to be a better man and a better person. So I can't thank you enough for the impact you've had on my life. And lastly, just my teammates and my brothers in here. You know, we're gonna be together for the rest of our lives, be in each other's weddings, and a bond that will last forever. And I'm just so excited for that. So excited to serve with you guys and just, you know, be in your lives and you guys be in mine. So we've created a bond that will last for eternity. And I'm so thankful for that. And I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming today.
Okay, that was Cole Catterwell. Now, second lieutenant Cole Catterwell. Very thoughtful remarks. Now we're going to have Kate Ballard, former Army quarterback. He overcame injuries and is always ready to play. A couple of nice ones.
All right, next up, we've got Cade Ballard. With Cade today, we've got his father, Ken, his mom, Joey, grandmother, Cheryl, sister, Parker, and sister, Paul. Cade, as we all know, is from Greenville, Tennessee. We have a common bond with us both being from the south, just a little more to the north, Tennessee, not quite Georgia, but talking with Cade, I asked him, what's been your biggest highlight during your time at the academy? Football, academic, whatever, you know, I asked him what it was. And forgive, you won't be surprised. tells you starting and winning in the 2022 Army-Navy game after a tough season. And that really epitomizes Cade. He summed it up with a quote where he said, "Started rough and finished strong." And I really think that speaks to his resiliency, and that experience is how the Army will be for him as well. There will be highs and lows, and your ability to stay the course and be ready when called upon is critical. Cade was able to do that for us in the biggest game of the season, and he stepped up to the plate and helped obtain a huge victory for the program. And for that, we're all grateful. Cade, like his good friend Cole, is also going to be commissioning as a field artillery officer today, and he'll also be serving as an athletic intern at USMAPS, who will coach quarterbacks. He'll then transition to Fort Sill, and he's got a follow-on assignment out to Fort Bragg, which is one of the all-American places you can go. So, the other piece about Cade that folks should pay attention to is just his ability to stay the course and refine his craft. And we already talked about that Army-Navy game, but that's also something he's done in terms of his own professional development and the different opportunities that he sought for me to learn about different things in his upcoming career. So he's going to be a phenomenal artillery officer, and he's going to be a key piece down at the prep school next year, coaching that in the class. With that, we'll go ahead and post it. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional abilities of Cade Ballard. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of Second Lieutenant, effective 26 May 2023, by order of the Secretary of the Army, signed Christine E. Warren. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States,
having been appointed officer in the Army of the United States,
the grade of Second Lieutenant,
and the grade of Second Lieutenant,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
in which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. Cole almost bailed you out for that. No, I appreciate everybody being here. I'll let Peyton take the Jerry Maguire award tonight. I'm not going to cry. I love Peyton. Don't make me cry. That's hard. But no, seriously, I would love. I thank my sisters and parents for being here. Incredible support system back home. Had a lot of bad days here. I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of us have had a lot of bad days, but boy, I've had some bad days here. But no, I've had great coaches to lean on. Coach Munkin, thank you for recruiting me to come here. I remember you sitting at my dining room table, and I'm being all nervous, like I put my shoulders on the counter or not, or whatever to eat. I shouldn't have, but you know, it is what it is. I appreciate you for getting me here. Thank you so much to meet these guys and be around this program and truly know what winning is and how to work to win. And you're as good as I've ever been around, and I've been around some good ones. I won't say you're better, but Coach Worley, thank you so much. For 3 years, you were, me and Jamel and TT and CA and all those guys. me and Jamel, we battled through adversity a lot in our career, but you navigated it too, and done a great job and taught me a lot more about football than I could ever thank you for, but also about being a man. I appreciate that. Coach Smith, Coach Attorney-O, all the other coaches in here, if I'm missing somebody, thank you. Your value added to my life. It's hard to put into words, it truly is. I appreciate you more than you know, and we'll always hold that bond together, and I appreciate you. To all the boys in here, all my teammates, everybody, you're the reason I'm still here and I'm sitting here in front of you. I see Reed just walked in too. Man, like I said earlier, I've had some bad days, and I've had these guys have been there to pick me up, and I truly appreciate them. And to one more thing, I want to talk about myself in this one, is just the people in this room are incredible. The people you meet here are incredible. The support system I see in front of me is incredible. And I just thank each and every one of you for raising great sons. If there's any daughters in the room, great daughters. But this place is amazing, and it's a testament to you and all of you in this room, and I truly appreciate it, and thank you.
Second Lieutenant Kid Down.
So, it's fitting, I think, that we started with Peyton. I met Ryan just behind the scoreboard up here, and you guys were pleased, but shortly after the season started, Peyton introduced me. Everybody was kind of nervous, please, but I understand like that. And Peyton said, "This is the guy I keep telling you about." He said, "We gotta go to his house, and his wife cooks." The secret was my wife doesn't have to cook. I do a lot of the cooking when you guys come over. And so we brought you over, I think, that very next weekend, and Ryan, you just embedded with my family. You're just an incredible person. This is where my daughter fell in love with you. She said, she always asks about Ryan at church. She asked me to pick her up so she could look over my shoulder and find Ryan at the back of Mass. And so for the family, Ryan was always at Mass on Sunday because Caroline was on my shoulder and always on time. So first I want to thank Terry and Val, Renette, Tom, Colin for being here, sharing your son first with me and then with everybody else in this organization. We've gone through these, you see how tight-knit group this is. Everybody's sticking around in here. Everybody's kind of sitting and listening to what everybody has to say, because these are true bonds that cannot be broken. I say true brotherhood. It's that word, right, that we keep hearing about. Today, you all get to kind of see the importance of that and what it really means. I got a little story about Ryan, and for those of you that know him, he is quite competitive. So I think shortly after COVID ended, or we were allowed to have you guys come back over to the house a little bit, we had all 6 of them, and it took like 2 shuttles because we had to have everybody separated in the car, or like whatever. So we brought him in the house, and I think we cooked like 20 pounds of smoked brisket. I mean, we had just a full layout of everything. And after dinner, of course, they're helping clean up everything from the dishwasher. I hear this like commotion, like, hey, get out of here, you guys go hang out, be with each other, be with the kids. You know, Lauren and I got this. And I just hear this commotion in the living room. It's a 1,300 square foot house, not very big, so noise travels, right? And I walk in there, and every one of these guys are leaning over a Star Wars Monopoly board, and they are going at it. And my 7-year-old son is giving them the number on who can buy what property and how big. And Ryan is just like leaning back and just like agging this kid on, right? And he's teaching him how to deal. And so just the competitiveness of Ryan, and just the ability to kind of be in a space, understand exactly who you need to be that person for everybody. I mean, this group's incredible. Each one of you kind of led each other at the precise moment that you needed leadership. You kind of needed that confidence, and it was just truly rewarding to be a part of it. I worked on Ryan hard to be an aviator. He was the one that I thought, out of that whole group, if I can get anybody, I'm gonna get Ryan to be an aviator. And to the point where when he asked me to write his letter of recommendation for the branch, I almost just wrote it as an aviation one. Just sent it to him to see what would happen. But I didn't. I'm glad he chose FA. I know you're gonna do a tremendous job. You can't win them all, but I tried real hard. So just thanks to you and your family. Ryan, thanks for being a part of my life. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to kind of teach, coach, and mentor you. We had you in the systems department. I got to see quite a bit. I was your PL 300 mentor. And I think we did that from Hawaii, right? And Lauren was like, I'm down in the kitchen listening to the conversation that you're having with a 22-year-old, and it's just absolutely incredible. She's like, I only hear one side of it, but I can tell the questions that he's asking. He just gets people differently, and she's like, you have got to go back just to be around people like that. So you gave me a tremendous amount of value and kind of purpose in my life, and I thank you for it. Yeah, so that's all I've got. Let's go ahead and publish the orders, and we'll do the oath.
I got you. I got you. Yep.
Attention orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional abilities of Ryan Thomas Jacoby. In view of these qualities, he has demonstrated the potential for increase in responsibility, for he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of Second Lieutenant, effective 27 May 2023, by order of the Secretary of the Army. Signed, Christine E. Foreman.
I state your name.
I, Ryan Thomas Jacoby,
Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States,
having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States,
the grade of second lieutenant,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. This is Will Campbell. He's surprising me up here. He went to my high school, but just a great young guy. He's my first salute. I just like to start off by thanking all my family up here, my dad, brother, all my grandparents, mom. They made up like every single one of my football games, and like a lot of guys in here know like they kind of like they were just our biggest supporters. Brought the RV up every single weekend. They just absolutely grew to love Army football, which kind of brings me to a funny story of how we started. When Coach Lewis was recruiting me, like my mom, who's that? Oh, it's the Army football coach. She was like, no, like don't take his calls. I really didn't want to go here. And then I get that call and I sneak away in the basement and be talking to Coach Lewis real quiet. And really glad I did. And eventually, when I told him they gave me an offer, like we came up here to see a few games that just grew on them and it grew on me. And this place is incredible. And all the guys have already talked about the group we have. I think Kate said it best. Just to thank you to all the parents. It's great to see these great young men. Had a great impact on my life. Just thank you to the coaches here, Coach Monk for recruiting me as well as Coach Luce, and then all the other coaches just had, like Coach Smith who came in later in my career, but still had a huge impact. Coach Satt, Coach Burley, just everybody here, great staff, and I just could not be more thankful for this place. Just saw my Paul walk in the room, and just part of the family, the brotherhood. And I'm just so excited for what's to come. I know you all are going to do great things, and just excited for the future. Thank you, guys.
glad you did.
Hey, good afternoon. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, so try to keep this short. It's going to be hard with Cole up here. My name is Major Charlie Phelps. I'm an instructor in the Department of Behavioral Sciences and Leadership. I graduated actually 10 years ago from here, coming from 10th Special Forces Group in Fort Carson. Really awesome to be in front of you all today. So it's sort of a tradition in Army Special Forces. Teams are very tight-knit, and there's some good rapport and joking, and so when you come to a team, if you ever admit it's the first time, you owe a case of beer to the team. And so I'm particularly honored and privileged to be here because this is the first time I've had the privilege to commission an officer, to administer an oath to a new officer. The Secret Service stopped me from getting a case of beer this morning, but really, I'm privileged to be here. And then same, Connor, to you as well. It's interesting reflecting on what today means and the experience that all these young men have had the last 4 years. At West Point, really, we received something from all of you, the family, right? 18 to maybe 20 years of your work. And that means a lot to me today, having a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son, and trying to picture what that would be like to be in your shoes. And think about my parents, too. And I can say without hesitation, I'd be so proud to have my son be like yours. Really. It's interesting for me to think about that. So Cole commissioned in the infantry. I met him last semester in PL 350, Advanced Military Leadership. Cole's actually headed to 2nd Brigade Combat Team in the 25th Infantry Division, Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. I sincerely hope he'll be in 127 Infantry, the Wolfhounds, where I first went into the Army as a second lieutenant. The crucible of ground combat, and some of you all have heard this from me before, is probably the most extreme condition in the human condition. It's where leadership is the hardest and where it matters the most. And our Army is lucky to have men like Cole Mayberry there leading in the infantry. I couldn't be more proud. So it's funny, never having done this, I had Connor and Cole fill out these awesome sheets, right? And I could talk about his dean's list and being a KSL leader and on the S3, Norwegian Foot March, all this stuff, and I don't want to read you his resume. And so I thought, right, how do I make an impact, or what could I say? And right, coming from me or from the parents or Coach Monken in the back or anybody here who's known Cole, it would have an impact. But I took a different tact, and so, and spoiler alert, Connor, this is going to happen for you too. Instead of a peer or an officer or someone who's been your mentor, I actually asked people that followed you for some comments. And so this is what some of Cole's teammates, people that he's led and mentored, had to say about you. Mayberry is one of the kindest guys I've ever met and stands true to his convictions, which I admire strongly. Somebody else. Cole's positivity and kindness is infectious. He leaves a stain of thoughtfulness and generosity on every person he crossed paths with. I've been extremely fortunate to have spent the past 3 years with Cole, and I'm a better person because of it. I've seen him battle adversity like no one other, and he kicked its butt just like he will with any challenges that come in the Army. Good luck. Love you. Another teammate said, Cole Mayberry is the epitome of the man many of us are striving to be. His presence demanded nothing but the standard, and it is because you never wanted to let Cole down. Cole has been a leader in my life spiritually because he sets a great example for how a man of faith should carry himself every day. The locker room will not be the same without Cole. And finally, Cole is without a doubt the quintessential leader of character that all West Point cadets should aspire to be. He embodies what it means to do right, and Cole has guided many, both on the football field and in the Corps, on their path to greatness. Cole is the type of guy you want your daughter to date, as Emerson might attest to, and also be in the foxhole next to you. Really proud of you, Cole, and honored to be here. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional capabilities of Cole Mabry. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of second lieutenant with the date of May 27, 2023, by order of the Secretary of the Army, the Honorable Christine Woolman.
First off, I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. One of the proudest days of my life. It means a lot seeing so many people that have meant so much to me, especially over the past 4 years. I have to thank God first. His faithfulness through this journey, my whole life, especially the past 4 years, has just been so evident. I always look back on myself as a kid. Like, 2 things I love to do. I love to play Army. I love to play football outside. So, like, when I first heard about West Point, really through Army football, I see Coach Monkton, Coach Sapp, Coach Smith out there. It's like, man, like this sounds pretty awesome once I finally learned what it was. And talk about like the American dream. Like, I truly feel like I've been able to live that in my life. And since I first kind of heard about West Point, this like was a dream for me. And so the last 4 years have just truly been an opportunity to live my dream. And I've gotten to do it with the finest people I've ever met. Looking out at my friends out there, coaches, mentors, instructors. There's incredible people at this place, and I hope to make all of them proud one day through my service and what kind of father I am, how I treat my family, and yes, and I also just especially like to thank my family here. Like Major Phelps said, this last 4 years, I really just what I've been able to do has been a result of the way you guys have raised me, and so I can't thank you enough, and it means a lot having you here. My sister, my uncle, my grandpa, and I also mentioned the second lieutenant rank I pinned on belonged to my uncle. It was his second lieutenant rank. He served in the Vietnam War, so that was really special to me. And so, yeah, I guess in closing, I just want to thank everyone again for being here. To everyone who supported me through these last 4 years, I'll forever cherish this time. And like I said again, I hope to make all you guys proud. So thank you.
Cole Mabry. Are we running back? Are we running back? No, we have Conor Bishop. Center on the Army football team. Extraordinary. Yeah, thanks for watching. And let us know where you're watching from, or you want to go to tournament. think he stayed at West Point for commissioning of many of the Army football players. And now that's second lieutenants.
All right, everybody, so you get to hear from me twice in a row. I'm here to have the honor and privilege to commission and administer the oath to Connor Bishop. It's funny, I didn't really need to pull any information on Connor's achievements and accolades as a cadet because it's so widely understood. Obviously, as a captain of the Army football team, award recipient, 4.0 GPA, it's really remarkable what Connor has accomplished, given his commitment and the time he spends here to the team, but then back into the Corps of Cadets. And so it's interesting as I reflect on some experiences and the future potentially, or the challenge that some of these young men may face in uniform. I really believe that you all, and you, Connor, are uniquely qualified to be a leader of the company because of being a member of this team. The sport, the violence, the physicality, the discipline, the intellect required, everything that you've done associated with that program has qualified you to be a leader of the company. And I really, truly mean that. Connor's headed to the 173rd Airborne Brigade in Vicenza, Italy, first desire. He earned that spot and that position. Something interesting maybe to consider by nature of going to an airborne unit, what Connor will be exposed to. And units are great everywhere in the Army. Soldiers are awesome, NCOs are awesome, but because jumping out of airplanes is just a little bit dangerous, keeping these together, Connor, right? It typically means in airborne units, discipline is higher, cohesion is higher, teamwork is higher, and non-commissioned officer leadership tends to be better. To the point that when I was in Hawaii, Cole, and we had a new NCO coming, if I knew nothing about them, they came from the 82nd, 101st, and 10th Mountain, that's where I hoped they would come, based on unit and culture. And so Connor's headed to one of those units, the 173rd Airborne Brigade. And I'm supremely confident, Connor, in the quality of the non-commissioned officer leadership that you're going to encounter there, and they're going to forever imprint you as a commissioned officer and how you super excited for the experience that you're going to face. So a couple of things, and the surprise was fun. You don't get any beer either because Cole asked me first. So again, a lot of wonderful things to say about Connor, but maybe what's most important is from his followers, from people who he's led. This might tell you, but a deep thinker here, a quote. That's the whole challenge of life, to act with honor and hope and generosity. No matter what you've drawn, you can't help when or what you're born with. You may not be able to help how you die, but you can and you shouldn't. Try to pass the days between as a good man. That's Connor. Connor is an elite competitor who I used to dread playing against on the scout team my freshman year. He practiced extremely hard and has been a huge role in the success of our offense as a player, but also the success of our team as a leader. I respect Connor for the way he handles peer leadership, and he's taught me and inspired me to be a better leader. Another teammate said, "It was an honor to serve as a player under Connor's leadership. He is a professional who has influenced me towards being a better player, person, and soldier." God bless. I will use the lessons he has taught me in leadership for many years moving forward, and I'm excited to see the impact his leadership will have in the Army. Good luck, love you, Connor. Bish, I didn't know that was your nickname, actually. Bish is continually exceeding the standard and is a beacon of light for all of us to strive for. I love him like a brother, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. And then finally, I would consider it an honor and a privilege to serve under Connor in any context. He is an outstanding leader, mentor, and friend. I follow him into the gates of hell. With that, attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional abilities of Connor Bishop. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of second lieutenant, with the date of 27 May 2023 by order of the Secretary of the Army.
All right, I want to thank you guys, first off, just for being here. I know it's been a long day, and I'm the last thing in between you guys and lunch, so I appreciate you sticking around and being here and just supporting in general. Thank you, sir, for being here and doing this. I wish I beat Cole to ask you to do it. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of beer tonight. Thank you, my family, of course, for all the support, all my life, especially while I've been here. I mean, you guys mean everything to me. Thank you for everything. We'll only be a short time right away. So, lastly, I just want to thank the Brotherhood, coaches, Coach Monken, and the rest of the players. I've told this to a few people, but just thinking back on my time at West Point and, West Point being a leadership laboratory and all that personal development, I think the most development I've ever had was in this room and in this building. And that's really what's prepared, me, and I'm sure the rest of my teammates would say the same, to go be an officer. And so I'm forever grateful to everyone in this room, just the love they've showed, and just constantly pushing us and really this entire experience. And even this morning I was cuddling with 12. I just saw you there, and so this is a bond that's going to last forever, and I'm just eternally grateful. So thank you guys.
One more hand for the class of 2022. Yeah. We'd love to have you join us for lunch upstairs, 4th floor. There's an elevator and steps. See you up there. They're all set up ready for you.